This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition. All right, it is Friday evening. It's about 5:40 p.m. We got a call on a walk-in freezer not working. This has a Heatcraft Intelligent controller, quick response controller. It's currently in defrost. The customer said 2 of the fan motors were not working. If you look back here, it's packed full of ice back in there. So let's go ahead and get this guy shut off and get it defrosted. And then once we get it defrosted, we can diagnose the motors and go from there. Since the unit's in defrost, you might as well check to see if the relays are working in the board. Okay, so we've got 9.6 amps of current. That's just total heater load, but we don't know if all the heaters are working. And this is a perfect time to check them since it's iced up, right? If we come around to the back side here, you guys can see the coil's frosty, but we can see that the heaters are in fact working because you can see them melting the ice. So that's a good sign. And then we can come over here and check the individual heaters at this electrical terminal strip over here. So I can see it from the back, all the heaters, and then the drain pan heater is hot. Crude way of telling, but it's working. So defrost heaters are working. I'm gonna let the defrost heaters keep running while I start disassembling a few things, and then we can get the hose out and really melt it with hot water. For the life of me, these fan blades do not want to come off. They are rusted good. You can see the rust in there. They told me that 2 fan motors and fan blades weren't working, so just because it was so late in the day, it's 5:50 now. The call came in at like 4 p.m. On the way over here, I stopped by a supply house and picked up 2 fan motors and 2 blades just in case, so that way I didn't potentially have to open up a supply house if that was the case. So if I have to, I can change them, but I need to get these guys heated up so maybe we can get them off. All right, in the process of defrosting this, the drain is really slow. It's draining. I went over there. It's flowing really good. It's just there's a lot of water flowing through it, so we got to stop because we don't want that water overflowing into the freezer because it'll just get on the floor. They have a raised floor in here and it'll wreak havoc. So you got to take your time. It's not a race defrosting these things. So ice is everywhere in this box. Look back behind the electrical. It's all frozen up too. So 2 screws, you can get back there. I got this all defrosted. That's looking good. So we're almost there, almost at the home stretch. Then we got to figure out if we actually have bad motors. This one right here was disconnected. The wiring was just out of the plug. This one looks like the plug has been bypassed, and that looks like mine because I used a strain relief connector there too. So we'll see. All right, we got it all defrosted. I just got to melt this little bit of chunks that I pulled out of here. It's all defrosted in here too. This guy has an aftermarket transformer. I don't know if I did that or if someone else did that. I don't remember, but regardless, we're all defrosted and we're ready to, like I said, put the fan motors back in and troubleshoot what the problem is. For the life of me, I cannot get those blades off. I even tried using a socket with a 1/8 inch adapter on it. Will not. Those blades are frozen on there. We can try some heat, see if maybe heat will do it. I was able to get the blades off. This motor is working. This motor is working. This motor is not. I'll check voltage, but yeah, I have a feeling we have one bad motor, and that makes sense because this was the one that was like totally iced up. Yeah, this guy has 208 volts. So this guy's a bad motor, so good thing I picked him up. I'm gonna go shut it down and get this one swapped out. All right, I've got an OEM Interlink Heatcraft motor right here. This is a new style because they got away from the cast iron housing motor, like on that one. And this one's kind of like a replacement motor. It's this little guy right here. So let's get it installed and then we can troubleshoot the system further. All right, I was able to get all these installed. I put new blades on the right 2 motors, but I only bought 2 blades and 2 motors, right? But I only had to replace 1 motor. Problem is, I got this blade off, but that set screw won't tighten. So I'm trying everything I can just to get it. If I can just get it to tighten for the weekend, I'll come back and I'll change it and put a new blade on there, but we'll see. I'm trying. I might have to open a supply house for a dang 12-inch blade. We'll have to see. The amount of stuff I just went through to get this blade on here. And it's only temporary. I got that set screw to tighten. What I had to do was get a brand new Allen, and I had to heat this guy up with the Allen in there and get it to turn. So basically expanded so that way the Allen could turn in there. Then my Allen was stuck and I got it out, but I'm not even gonna play with it anymore. It should get us through the weekend, I hope. Got it plugged in. I'm gonna put the guards on. The blade's kind of bent. I tried to tweak it as best as possible to straighten it out, but yeah, we'll get it all tightened up and then hopefully we'll be going here soon. It took me a bunch of years to realize this. There's actually a special spot for that retainer nut. Notice that right there and right there is different than right there and right there. You actually have to get that over and it makes it so much easier. I went the majority of my career struggling with these things. And we have fans all blowing in the right direction, moving, good air, awesome. We're gonna wait for it to kick on. They got some ice on the suction P-trap, but that'll need new insulation. We're gonna clean up my tools and then head upstairs and check out the condensing unit. It's gonna take about 5 minutes for the time delay to kick in. So come up to the roof to check the sight glass, and condenser fan motor's making like a funny bearing noise. But then this one's not running at all. So I got 2 bad condenser fan motors. It's limping along from that one. But the sight glass is clear. It's got a, so that's a plus. So sight glass is clear, but we need to get those condenser fan motors changed out. So I'll go see if I have some and we'll get them put on there. All right, so this is the one that wasn't running and it's locked up. Like, it's really hard to turn. That thing's a mess. And then this is the one that was, but it has bad bearings, so we're just going to change them both. So I'm going to get them swapped out. Not too difficult. I got to run back down to the van to get some electrical connectors to connect them though. All right, it's getting dark. Motors are installed. I just got to wire them, and I'm gonna take some stuff down, go get the electrical fittings that I need, take the boxes down, and hopefully be done with this soon. All right, so you can do this motor, it's multi-volt. So for 230 volt, we need to wire to purple and white, and then we need to wire nut orange and black together, isolate yellow, and that's it. So we're gonna do that real quick. Got a couple fittings right there, get it knocked out. If we did everything correctly, it shouldn't blow up. And both of them seem to be going in the right direction. We'll give it a second, let it slow down. Yep, that's the right direction for both of them. So now they're gonna have 2 condenser fan motors running. Now it's probably gonna pump down because the controller has a delay on startup, so we'll have to see. But I'm gonna start putting everything back together. We are done. This guy, well actually we're still gonna come back and change one of those fan blades, but for the sake of the video, we're done. We changed 1 evaporator fan motor, 2 fan blades. We de-iced the evaporator coil. When I arrived, the evaporator coil was iced up solid, okay? When it's iced up, well, it wasn't iced up solid, but it had an even frost pattern, right? Except for the one where the motor wasn't working, there was a massive amount of ice. Judging by the way the ice was on the evaporator, leads me to believe that it's not a refrigeration problem, okay? It's an airflow problem with the fan motor not working, and they don't do a good job of shutting the door. But I don't see need to put on service gauges, especially when we've got a clear sight glass. Okay, both condenser fan motors are now working. I'm happy with this. We'll follow up when we come back next week when we're not on overtime. That's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one. The box is getting nice and cold, so we are good to go. Like I said,